This is a quick video based on the original Blanchard 6-transistor radio that was done in 1961. It was based on an Arkay kit radio. And if you might remember from that episode, I had one of those kits, but the cabinet was made out of that cardboard leather and it just finally fell apart. And I said, I'm not going to get rid of this chassis. It's a metal chassis with socketed transistors. So, if you remember from the Blanchard article, he made a special cabinet for it, and I based it exactly on that cabinet. This is made out of very thin masonite, like what you would find on clipboards. Very thin. It couldn't even be more than that thick. And I think it uses half-round molding here, if I remember, and covered in the snakeskin material like you'd find at Joann Fabrics. It's just like sheets of paper. I guess they use it for scrapbooking and stuff, and just went through all around the edges and such. This stuff is for cross point, cross stitch, I think is what they call it. Needle point, I'm not familiar with it. But this is the backing that you would use to make your designs on cross stitch. And I looked at that and I thought, well, that's as good as any grow cloth material as I could get. And on top of that, it's not cloth, it's plastic, so it's very sturdy. These are off the original Arkay. Got some new mounting hardware for it. And so from the back, same basic material. Got the closing hardware from another item at Michael's. It was like a trinket box, and just the right size, you can see here. So you undo that latch, open her up. Here's our chassis, and let me see, I think it's 6 transistors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, with the top hat GE type transistors. This is a reproduction Rayovac battery, which in ever-ready it would be a 266 9-volt battery. I don't even think they make these anymore. This is actually a reproduction. Let me bring this up. Done in late 50s, early 60s design. And what it actually hides on the inside. First you have the spacer. And then you have a clip with 2 larger 9-volt battery style clips, and on the inside 2 9-volts, and the whole thing goes together just as such. I think I've repaired the radio. It didn't sound very good. It sounded very tinny and thin. And the problem was these couple of these resistors had drifted up. One in particular, which was a 4.7K, it had drifted well into 5.1 and sounded lousy. And there was also a 33K. I went ahead and just replaced both of them. It sounds a whole lot better. You might even notice this has a... actually, you can't see it, so I need to turn it. Right here has an original glass diode for the detector. I'm going to tune this up real quick and then we'll put it back in its cabinet. But this is an original Arkay chassis that would have been made as a kit. And now I've pretty much repaired it. Only other thing that I've done, a couple of the transistors were just bad. So I've went ahead, I happen to have a few of these, 2 N104s and a 109, and they're close enough in terms of germanium transistors for PNP, so I went ahead and dropped those in. They look original, and I've had these forever. I've never used them, and I figured, well, now's the time. I tried testing this one, and this one was just a dud. It was way off. The beta was awful, and it was leaky as hell. So now, The radio seems to be playing better. I'll do a quick tune-up and quick run-through on this one. Sometimes it's nice to have two ladies in the family because they've got usually bright colored nails, and this nail polish is just perfect for putting indicator dots on this chassis. What I wound up doing is I just took a soldering iron and just burned through the paper to make a couple of holes. This is of course for on-off, and then the other one I made a little longer for a line. I've still got to clean it up a little bit for the tuning indicator. Okay, let's see how this old girl actually runs. Remember, this is from 1961.
Presented by Texas Motor Exchange. The weather in a moment. Stop fighting. Stop fighting an exhausted engine. Let Texas Motor Exchange put new punch into your car's driving performance with a power guaranteed motor overhaul. For just $29.50 plus parts, you can swing into in-town and open road driving in top shape and save enough on fuel and small repair bills to pay for your TME motor overhaul. Texas Motor Exchange mechanics are specialists in giving mixed-up motors a new lease on life. Texas Motor Exchange motor overhauls are guaranteed for 4,000 miles or 90 days. Guaranteed to give you trouble-free performance to add years to the life of your car. And listen, at Texas Motor Exchange, you get your car's motor overhauled now, and you don't pay a penny for 45 days. Ask Texas Motor Exchange to arrange easy terms, and drive now, pay later, with a guaranteed motor overhaul at Fort Worth's largest, oldest, and most reliable motor exchange. Texas Motor Exchange, 2204 North Main. Call them anytime. Market 68271. Texas Motor Exchange, where you drive the best bargain. And if it's transmission trouble you're having, hear this. Texas Motor Exchange can replace your old transmission with a factory rebuilt one for as low as $99.50 plus installation with exchange.
Those were the days.
Motor Exchange, 2204 North Main. Phone Market 68271 for full information. Now, jet stream weather for Fort Worth, Dallas, and greater North Central Texas. Generally fair and warm tonight and Friday. Low temperature tonight around 70 degrees. High Friday, lower 90s. Winds easterly 10 to 15 miles per hour. Current weather conditions in Fort Worth. Skies are clear. Relative humidity 32%. Wind from the east-southeast 9. Pressure 29.93. The barometer falling. Under clear skies in downtown Fort Worth, it's 94 degrees. Under clear skies in Dallas, 91. This has been Jet Stream Weather, presented by Texas Motor Exchange. Thirsty? How about a cold Lone Star beer?
Let's tune around.
Año de Indiana Fear Farm, abierto este jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo. Jamestown celebra 15 años de miel fresco.
It's a Spanish commercial for Fear Farm. It's one of the Halloween spectacles. Now this one's not near as sensitive because this one has the third IF transformer from the old one. I did manage to finally repair it, but it's been touchy, and this thing wants to break into oscillation, so I had to tune it back just a little. And the dial's a little bit off, but it's like I go by a gentleman named Wayne Lemons, who serviced transistor radios in the early 60s, and his idea was you tune the oscillator up until it's maximum sensitivity on the low end of the band, do the same thing on the high end, then set your station. The dial scale may be off, but the sensitivity on the set's got to be maximum, and that's what I've wound up doing.
After that
play. But yeah, I agree with Stacy. It's good analysis there. It's just a lot of frustration.
Stacy, tell us about the press conference. Some of the questions that were asked in there.
You can hear that sound. It's just on the edge. You're trying to burst into oscillation.
Well, we have another timeout on the field. The score, Nebraska 17, Indiana 2. 12:29 to go in the first half. And we're back here in a moment.
And it should be like a loop antenna. Yeah, there's the null. That's the most sensitive spot there. I see, that's 700 WLW, and you can see the 70s off by that. That's all I could do.
I couldn't even have Super Sugar Crisp cereal. I had to go to my
Super Sugar Crisp. Boy, there's a name I haven't heard in years. Anybody remember Sugar Bear?
You want to keep your teeth, you don't need the sugar and stuff. And that was great. She was thinking ahead, but it was terrible. So my chance at really...
That's probably my camera making the birdies.
And then she would, she'd go through the bag and grab the stuff that she liked.
There's the null.
Needles in there,
So
razor
it'll work.
blades or whatever. And we never did what a lot of people did. They'd have the hospital open and they'd go through and get x-ray.
This will probably get hotter in terms of sensitivity later in the evening. But I'm pretty satisfied with it. Especially happy with the cabinet.
Want your team to show.
This is almost exactly like Thomas Blanchard built in his article back in 1961. I'm a firm believer in Buster Keaton when it comes to reproductions. Make it so real, it hurts.
Rambler has a sale. They go all out to bring you the biggest car buys in town, and right now they're having a clearance sale. The savings are terrific. Listen, the beautiful new Rambler American two-door is sale priced at only
Rambler.
$15.95. This is
My grandma had a Rambler.
Only $195 down, just $45.88 monthly. Drive it today. America's #1 economy car, the Rambler American, for only $15.95. The Rambler American delivers best gas mileage wherever you drive, and it's sale priced right now at $15.95 at Frontier Rambler. $195 down, $45.88 monthly puts you behind the wheel of the all-new Rambler American. This special price of $15.95 is for a limited time only, and you get a service warranty and factory
When's the last time you
guarantee
bought a
at
decent
Frontier
car
Rambler,
for
1811
$1,595?
Open evenings till 9. Be sure you buy from an authorized dealer. Frontier Rambler.
Time to wind this up. Show you again. Inside and out. Made to look just like it did in '61. Of course, these wouldn't be accurate. That's just to make it work. Little bit of repair work to be done. Put new transistors in that plug right in. 1961 Arkay kit radio, which could also be called the Blanchard 6-transistor radio from Radio TV Experimenter, 1961.